for the sake of Allah.
Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. It's not permissible to, I'm still a man, I'm still active.
She is asking, Sheikh, Assalamu alaikum. I love you for the sake of Allah.
Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. This is inappropriate to say to the opposite gender. It's not permissible to, I'm still a man, I'm still active. So you can't do this. Just say your question. And this is part of the problems we're facing with free mixing. You go and the sister says, Sheikh, I love you for the sake of Allah. I'm married. Yeah, I know, but no, this is inappropriate at all. As from India, he says, what is loving for the sake of Allah? The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, in a beautiful hadith, and I think there is a lecture or more on my YouTube channel on this topic. A beautiful, authentic hadith without any doubt. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, 3 things, if a person has them in him, he would find the sweetness of Iman. Imagine, Iman has a taste. One of them, without going to the whole thing, go and see the lecture. One of them is to love someone and to love him only for the sake of Allah. And they meet on this love and they depart on that love. And this is taken from the 7 under the shade of Allah Azza wa Jal. But the hadith, وَأَنْ يُحِبَّ الْمَرْءَ لَا يُحِبُّهُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ. To love someone and he loves him only for the sake of Allah. I love Brother Faiz because he's rich. And whenever I'm with him, he always pays the bill when we have lunch or dinner. I love Brother Faiz because he's influential. He knows people in the government. He knows people in important places. I love him because he's funny. He's always cracking jokes. I love him because he is helpful. Whenever I need something, he gives a helping hand. All of this is not for the sake of Allah. I love Brother Faiz because he prays Fajr in the first row in the masjid. I love him because he memorizes the Quran. I love him because whenever I speak to him, he said, Jazakallahu khairan. And whenever I do something for me, he said, Ghafarallahu lak wa rahimallahu, and he makes dua for me. I love him because every time I sit with him, I learn a new meaning of an ayah or a hadith or a fiqhi ruling. I love him because he is so kind to his parents, wife, children, and has good character. This is love for the sake of Allah. So whatever gets a person closer to Allah and you love him for these characteristics, this is for the sake of Allah, and Allah knows best.
Sister Wafa has a question, and quite an interesting question. She says that she hears on many of the Islamic channels when a sheikh is giving a talk or speaking to the audience, somebody rings in, a female, and says, Sheikh, I love you for the sake of Allah. She says this kind of saying from a woman to a man who's not a mahram, is this allowed, Sheikh?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله الأمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم told us in an authentic hadith, whenever one of you loves his brother, he should notify him. So the sunnah is, if a person loves someone else, he would tell him that he loves him for the sake of Allah. Now, this rule is general, but you have to look at the pros and cons, in the sense that if it is from the same gender, there's no problem. If a man tells another one that he loves him for the sake of Allah, and the love for the sake of Allah means that I love this person because he's a pious person, because he performs prayers in the masjid, because he is kind to others, he is kind to his parents, he connects to his kinship, and so on. He gives charity, he fasts voluntary days. He's a good practicing Muslim, and that is why I love him for the sake of Allah. But if I love him because he's rich and I'm hoping that he gives me something, or because he's influential and he may help me in government offices or so, then this is not for the sake of Allah. So if it's from the same gender, man to man, woman to a woman, there's no problem in that, because there's no fear of any temptation that may take place. But when it is from a man to a woman, or vice versa, then this is not permissible. Simply because if you call a sheikh, being a sheikh does not mean he's not human anymore. He is still human, and he is still, there's a big possibility that he may be tempted. So when a woman caller calls in and she says to the sheikh, I love you for the sake of Allah, no matter what, maybe the chances are very slim, and the sheikh, being supposedly a pious and a practicing Muslim, would not be affected. But no one knows what goes into our hearts. Therefore, this should not be permitted. It should be eliminated. And going direct to the question and to the subject is far greater and more important than showing your affection or your love for the sheikh. And I personally think that this is not permissible.
Can it be said in a wider context? Can somebody say, Sheikh, we love you for the sake of Allah? Or is that clear? Is that better in that terms if they want to say it? Or
again, there are so many other men who can say this to the sheikh. He does not need you to specifically say this to him. And sometimes the caller's voice might be soft, and shaitan is there. Shaitan is always present.
Jazakallah khair.